And we're live. Already tonight, we've got Wendy English calling Tebow and the One-Eyed Cat starting it off with 3 American flags. I always like that. I don't like to break the chain, so I didn't post a registration link until Dennis said, good evening, everyone. Reminder here, since we're on 90 days, inside of 90 days, 90 days, 3 hours, 58 minutes, until the 5th annual AHRA No Name Nationals. If you still need to register, there is the link. You've got to know by now. We're inside of 90 days. Most of Mopar says, good evening, y'all. Been out riding around in his newly acquired 2019 Ram 2500 HD. Yes, it has the Hemi. He says that should make it to Sykeston. Sounds like a great tow rig. Unfinished project here with the Dart Sport. We got all 3 mods right here, ready to swing some axes if need be. Barry Cuda, Engine Light Garage. Frankenstein C20 says, happy Friday. Hello, sir. Gen X Empty Nesters says, hi. Good to see you. Mean Bar says, what's up, everyone? Hello. Kerosene Cucumbers. Lumpy is here. Backwards. I totally forgot it's Friday. Good thing I don't forget it's Friday. The days get to be really similar sometimes. Camp Del Buffo, I-40. Eastbound from out west. Big Mike of the Hoopty Barn fame is here. Pure Pontiac Garage. Dean Stevens is here. Thank you for joining us. We've got several countries in here now. It looks like we're presented from around the world. Boss Barn 429. Is that Lout? I believe that's him. He says, packing to go to the beach, Wildwood, New Jersey. No car work tonight. Sounds like fun. I've been through there. I've been through Cape May once. M&M says, hello. Hello, Damien. JB's little shop is here. The One Cat says that the 5th annual is going to be epic in so many ways. Well, I certainly hope so. That's up to you guys. You guys put on a show people won't forget. Junkyard D. Mommy's Garage is running last in the No Name 500, but is registered. So she's about 10% of the way. And while that's a long climb to go, as we have seen, it can be done in short order. So start up those wins together now. You've got 89 days, 356 minutes. You can definitely do it. Turbo Tom says, we need a Mopar Tech in Willard, Ohio. When you say Mopar, you're talking about late model Mopar, right? Which to me might as well be Ford. You need someone who can do a Torqueflite? I'm doing one right now. The Manic Mechanic is here. He says, all good tonight. So far. See your new thumbnail there. Performance. Before we get too far into the stream, if anyone in the no-name community knows of a Fairmont Zephyr 80s model LTD or a Mercury Marquis Brome, holler at me. I'm in the market for one. A lot of people are in the market for one. Those are popular cars. The Backwoods Performance is looking for one. Levi says, if it's not epic, Brooke and I didn't do our jobs. I'm looking for Levi to put on a show. He did last year. I can't from my stand. Look at those wild fender wheel headers. Been all kinds of name nationals. Oh my gosh, I'm already buffering at 8:05. We got lots of stuff that's coming together that's looking good. So I'm excited. We're going to see a lot of good stuff turn up. I just hope you guys, hey, tell your friends this year's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of good stuff going to happen. 6th Street Garage, a.k.a. Matthew Ward 627 is here. I don't know if you saw the thumbnail, but I took in a stray 727. I'm building for my friend Dexter. Going in here, 65 Plymouth Belvedere. Parts look good. We just need to get all the stuff in. Seal kit. I'm going to change the lever in it. Stud the pan rail. Freshen everything up. Of course, do a CRT shift pack shift kit. And I think that one is going to be good and happy. JB says, I'm going to be thrashing, but I'll get things done to put on a show. Hey, it's a collective effort. It's everybody here. You all bring something so cool and different. Colleen's to have a learn. I don't know. We might be learning about something. Yeah, I mean, I've got a short coming out tomorrow. You can look at the parts for this 727. You never know. You never know. We might do something like that. I look at the things inside of that thing, and they're so much like a 904. But then I look at the things that are different, and some of them kind of get on my nerves. Like a 727 on your forward drum, the hub and the drum itself are two pieces. That bugs me. It creates another thing to have to work through, unlike a 904. 904, it's one piece. Executes 3343. Extremely good to be here. Dean Stevenson says that guy's a bot. Yeah, I know he is. That guy's Dean Stevenson. That's great. That is great. He's got two accounts in here talking to each other. Oh, and tonight we're going to open the unlabeled Dr. Pepper and see if over the course of this 2-hour live, if I croak. So someone, substitute poison. We're going to find out. There's no adhesive on this bottle, so the label didn't come off. It just never went on. So here we go. We're going to open it up. I predict this is going to go better than the one I found in the Jeep that was 2 years old. Okay, well, the first thing is it's not Pepsi, so it's drinkable. So far, so good. We'll stay posted on this over the course of the live. Thumper says, don't die. Well, I understand you not wanting to die. I'm holding some registration fees. Stevenson says, unfriend XC3343. The whole unfriend, that's a Facebook thing, right? I mean, I think there are people that take the Facebook friend thing more seriously than they do friends in real life. I really don't want to be on Facebook for a reason. Dan, the IT guy. Hello, sir. Glad you're here. Mean Street Mopar. And if you haven't been following along, Mean Street Mopar's got things rolling on his W2-headed 318. He's got rockers. He's got Jezel shaft mount rockers and push rods. And we're going to see some interesting stuff coming together over there over the next few months. I didn't cuss the best soda in the world. And see, Diet Dr. Pepper is awesome. Pepsi is that rot gut stuff. My grandfather was a general manager at Rock, West Virginia Coca-Cola plant. And Pepsi, for those who don't know, the original name way back there comes from pepsin, part of your digestive system. And it was designed as an aid in helping digestion. That's where the name Pepsi came from. So my grandfather, what he called Pepsi was that rot gut stuff. Colin, I just saw a picture where he took a bunch of grass up. That's all I've seen. I don't really have any other thoughts other than it took out a whole bunch of camping. I don't know anything else to think about it. Howard Williams 8993. What's up? It's a good looking 70 Charger in your thumbnail there. Thanks for joining us tonight. Cop Car Steve says, greeting automotive kings of the universe. Well, we got a good crowd in here. So we've got Canada, Australia, New Zealand, the United States. We don't have Mexico yet that I know of. You try to get those 5 countries. It's his brother-in-law's 1970. Levi says, guess I'm full of rock gut. Not crap. Well, whatever. Colleen says rock gut equals peptic ulcer. Well, that's what he called it. Coca-Cola, you know, that's what paid for his house. I mean, that's what put food on the table. Engine Light Garage says, well, I just registered. And indeed he did. I have it right here. Did you get the link in there for me? Looks like you did. Some people are link challenged. I've got it. It's Engine Light Garage is now registered. Mexicans may drop by. He may. New Zealand is just a state of Australia. Well, but see, I still count them. You've got New Zealand and Australia and Canada and the United States and Mexico and California. How's that? Deegan says hello to all of you. Well, hello, Deegan. Levi says he likes Coke too, but Pepsi's hard to come by these days at restaurants, so it's a delicacy to me. Oh my gosh. I wish I hadn't even read that. Mommy's Garage. Now I get to call someone out. Call someone out. You still got to get, by my math, like 452 subs. You can do it. You can totally do it. Dan the IT guy says, tip of the cap to Mr. Wilburn. Well, thank you. When I get my 500, you can call anybody out anytime you want to, but it'd be terrible to call them out and then they get their subs and you don't. But on the other hand, calling someone out might be a good way to help get your subs. Just saying. But Chris did it. You can do it too. Anybody can do it. You know, there are people on YouTube who have over 1,000 subs that are borderline a normal IQ even. So just saying, if you say that it's too hard to get 500 subs, I can show you some channels that'll just make you cringe. Just say, gosh, that guy got 1,000 subs. How can I not get 500? So you can do it. It's not that you can't. Anybody here can. Dr. Go said, working on the car in the yard while I listen to the live. Thank you. Thanks for listening. Oh, yeah. I was out of town. I got back too late, or I would have. I'm going to go back and watch the replay. Mean Street Mopar, howdy. I'm really hoping he gets his ride together for Triple Crown. That's going to be interesting. Barry Kuda says, hello, Sting Stevenson. I kind of like that. Turbo Tom has 735. Turbo Tom worked. Let me tell you, Turbo Tom cut the 500 closer than anybody in history. Turbo Tom got his 500 while we were lining up for the group photo. Literally, while we were lining up for the group photo. I got word, I think somebody that came running up to me or called me as we're lining up cars, said, hey, Tom's got his 500. I said, then get him up here. Tom, being in that nimble little Model T, we brought him up through the other end of the track. I said, there's a spot you can back right in. And we're looking, it's like, there's no spot there. I said, yes, there is. It's small. And he just got right in there. It was great. It was perfect. Worked right out. I said, oh, yeah, Tom's talented. He'll get right in there. And he did. If he'd been in a bigger vehicle, it wouldn't have happened. Buff's driving across Oklahoma while listening to this live. Yep, I've been across Oklahoma in a car one time. And that was the first place I'd ever tried fried pickles, was in Oklahoma in 2008. I remember in Oklahoma, there was nothing, just nothing. It was miles and miles and miles of nothing, but there were these enormous Indian casinos. Wild. Road Warrior Dyno System for XE8922. Wow, that's a username. And we have add channel name EU5SL. Welcome. Thanks for coming out. Rodney Bird, Torqueflite 8 o'clock. Yes, it is. Rodney, I'm building that one for my friend Dexter. The hard parts look good. I'm going to get an order in top of the week at Cope Racing Transmissions for all the other little stuff. And it's going to be good. It's a really good core built in 77. I would say it's old and grimy, but it's the same age I am. Like I said, I think a couple of channels John's talked about have a sub just because of the spectacle. You can't look away from, hey, whatever works. Whatever works. Yeah, there's one I'm talking about in particular. If that guy can get 1,000, you'll never say you can't get 500. He did get a few hundred from us, but by and large, he got his subs. Levi says, I'm a little worried. The only vehicle we're bringing the No Name Nationals that runs is the ramp truck. You've still got plenty of time. You've got 89 days, 3 hours, and 42 minutes. You've got the time. Rodney says, sweet, rigid kickdown band. It's got a flex band in the front, and of course, cast iron in the back. I've got a short coming out in the morning, Rodney. You can see it. It looks like somebody's actually been in this one before, but the parts look really good. You can check it out. It'll drop at 8 a.m. on my channel. Because this month we've been doing 30 shorts in 30 days from June the 5th through July the 4th, including July the 4th, 30 shorts in 30 days. You can do more, but you got to have at least one drop every day. And I've thrown a few extras in there, including one that's outperformed most of my automotive content on this unlabeled Dr. Pepper. Well, I think it is. It tastes like it. So if I start croaking out here within the hour, you're going to know that there's more than that in it. I mean, it's not labeled. See, I'm taking my life in my hands, and you guys are witnesses. You know, if I start getting poisoned, we might suspect there was more in this bottle than that Dr. Pepper. I was actually told earlier this year that if I just died one day, the world will be a peaceful place the next day. I have some real fans out there, let me tell you. Lars says, good evening. Hope y'all had a good week. We survived it. Buff's channel. This is Kim posting on Buff's channel. Buff is busy holding the Jeep from being blown off the road. Oh my gosh. What's going on there? Barry Cuda thinks it would be a good idea for New Zealand and Australia to have the same government. He says, not now. You can have Albo and his clowns to yourselves. Well, you know, we have those problems here too. Although I don't, know anywhere near enough about your politics to even have opinions, but I wish you all the best. I do know that you guys don't have any gun rights according to your government, and I think that is extremely unfortunate. We'll be in your boat soon. There's enough apathy. What can I say? I guess the thumbnail drew in Rodney Bird, right? You couldn't resist seeing all that Torqueflite goodness in the thumbnail. Execute 3343. You should see how long his shloong is in metrics. 3343 is 204 cubic inches. No. I'm calling Bravo Sierra on that one. Mean Street Mopar says you'll be fine. We'll see. We'll see. Indecisive Garage. We've got both generations of the gnarly S10 builders. Jay's Junkers is here. Jay has been moving up in the No Name 500. He has got it moving good now. He's creeping up on first place. He's running second, and we will see. He's moving. Check out Jay's Junkers. He's got some neat stuff over there. His channel is neat. He's one of those best channels you have yet to hear of channels. And let me remind you, I remember I was talking about this 400 sub channel yesterday that I said this channel is too good for people not to know about it. Of course, you have heard of it now. It's called Unity Motorsports Garage. Andy and I both had 400 subs 6 years ago, and I was 7 years ago. I was saying, hey, you need to watch this guy. Jay's Junkers, he's another one to watch. Engine Light Garage, can't wait. He's got to put a new clutch in the Chevy Metro this weekend. Mommy's Garage ought to do some coverage of this clutch swap for content. Just saying. That would be good content. And title it really well. In fact, Mommy's Garage would be a good candidate to do some of that work. Barry Kuda says New Zealanders still have gun rights. We're not Australia. Not compared to here. I have friends that have told me about New Zealand. It's like, oh my gosh. Oh man, I hear stuff like, you can own guns, but they have to stay at the range under someone's control and all of this stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm carrying a pistol right now. I mean, you've never seen me in a live that I haven't. It's part of my lifestyle. It's completely different here. But time will tell. I would like to see freedom across the board. This project puts up the link. Beans Racing. They are running first in the No Name 500 right now. Buff Del Campo says you can lift the engine out with one arm. Oh, yeah, you can just carry a Metro in. They weigh nothing. Unfinished Project says Jay's Junkers. Here's the link to his channel. He is running second, but he is moving. He's got some movement going. Right now, if I had to guess who's going to be the next to cross the finish line, it's probably Jay's Junkers. Dan the IT guy, I think, is trying to guess my least favorite song ever, Country Roads by John Denver. No, that's not bad at all. I mean, I was born in West Virginia, but I have never been a resident of the state of West Virginia. That's just the side of the state line the hospital's on in my hometown of Bluefield, Virginia. So it's all one area there, but it's, But anyway, that is WVU country there, and you hear that song a lot. They're proud of that. That's one of their official state songs. Unfinished Project says Nodak Speed Shop. Yep, Nodak is running third. Engine Light Garage confirms. Mommy's Garage will be doing some clutch swap work on this Metro, so check that out. You know what? I would make a community post. Maybe do it live. There's things you can do. We will help you. Unfinished Project puts up the link to Stovall Farms and Garage. Dave Stovall, he's got some movement going. He's been doing the Shorts Challenge. Yeah, I can definitely pick the forearm is so tiny. Yeah, they are tiny. Rodney Bird says, I'm no John Coke, but transmissions are my livelihood. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Rodney Bird is an accomplished builder. In fact, reminds me, I was looking. Do I have that here? I might. I had reference laying right here. I had the Tom Hand's transmission book, and Rodney Bird's got a recipe in the back of that. But, yeah, Rodney Bird's a very knowledgeable guy. And do you plan to be at No Name Nationals again this year, Mr. Rodney? We hope to see you again. Tim72 Demon. He's also running in the No Name 500. Unfinished Project puts up the link. And Plymouth on Plywood. That's a neat channel. He's got some neat stuff. I wish he would film more of the stuff he does. He's always working on something. Barrows is here. He says, hello, everybody. Hello, Barrows. Thank you for joining us. And, of course, Unfinished Project puts up that link as well. Mostly Mopars has been working on the daily shorts, but not any longer form stuff, trying to get his mother-in-law into assisted living in her house sold. Hopefully we finished that project yesterday. Yes, I know that's a big process. I've got I've heard some firsthand accounts about moving folks to assisted living, and I've heard way too many firsthand accounts of selling the real estate. Okay, Jason, worst country song ever, Wasted Days and Wasted Nights, Freddie Fender. When I hear Freddie Fender, I'm always reminded of Freddie Fleet and his Band with a Beat from the Andy Griffith Show. I like those episodes with that band. If you haven't seen that episode, it's a good one. I like the Andy Griffith Show. Kerosene Cucumber, that usually perks his ears up when I mention it, but I like that show. That was some really good TV. Achy Breaky Heart, man, that is horrible, but that's not it. It's definitely, it's down there, but it's not the worst. I hate that song, but it's not my number one worst. Whew, yeah, that one is bad. I'll give you that. Oof. That one, if I had a bottom 5, that would be a solid contender. I've never sorted that out. That could very well be in my bottom 5, but it's not the one I'm saying is the worst song ever. Big Mike said, I was super thankful for the advice that Mr. Bird gave me when working on the transmission of the Green Goblin. Yeah, I'll tell you, Rodney gives you advice on a transmission. You should take it. He's a knowledgeable guy. He's a good builder. I've seen some of his work. He's a good builder. Lars puts up the link he says the best mod on the web, Unfinished Project. Yeah, Unfinished Project is an excellent mod. He's my original mod. He is great. He is a very good mod. I will give you that. The mod thing, people can run their channels any way they want to. Some people use the mod wrench like a whitelist of sorts, just so that anybody that they approve, any of their buddies, anybody they trust, they give a wrench. And that's fine. You can do that. I don't do it that way. I got a handful of people who have wrenches, but primarily for me, a moderator is not just that, but it's also people, they put up links. They're kind of watching what's going on. Really, for this channel, it's less about being a bouncer than it is, putting up links when we need them to facilitate things going on within the community. And my moms, they're fantastic. Yet, he says, Laura, Mississippi River, Georgia yet again. Well, we're looking forward to you coming over. Jay has to run. He'll catch us later. Hey, thank you for coming by. We always appreciate it. And good work on your subs. You're moving up. Barry Cooter says, we were never allowed handguns in New Zealand. These days, we can have everything except pistols and big semi-auto rifles and surface-to-air missiles. Interesting. You say big semi-auto rifles. So can you have carbines? So actually, not that this has anything to do with anything, but Arms Unlimited, I think it is, has a really good sale right now. Police trade-in Colt M4s, $7.99 complete. That's actually a good deal, I think. RWES 2012. Howdy. That username looks familiar. I think you're one of the many people on Rich's block list. My Aunt Nancy is here. So hello. Howdy. I had dinner with my Aunt Nancy yesterday. I try to see her once a week, at least, if I can. And who knows? We may do a short with her. I think she's coming down this week. I hope. So we will see. Dr. Go enjoys the music of the Darling Family on Andy Griffith. Yes, that's a real band, the Dillards. I don't believe any of them are still living. Dan the IT guy says, is it a song that has a line dance? I won't give any clues at all. So even if somebody were to ask for a clue and nail it, or if they're way off base, either way, I will neither confirm nor deny. Nor will I do it offline, nor will I do it in the comments, text, phone, nothing. I won't do anything. It's just one of these days I'm going to see it float through the chat and somebody's going to win something. Unfinished Project says 7,500 or best offer by Tim McGraw. Is that a song? And for those who don't know, because we got some new people here, that van I have on my channel, I do content with. It looks like Cousin Eddie's van, the one we did the Quadrajet swap on. She bought that van new, but the way that it got to looking as atrocious as it does is because there was a long period of ownership, more than 20 years, between when she sold it and when I got it. And that's where all of that went awry. Okay. And she maintained it and it looked great and everything was great during her ownership. And I've been bringing it back little by little. I got it running great now. I got to get it looking good again. So there's that. But that period in the middle was rough. That van did not have a good, let's call it 2006 to 2022. Those were not good years for that van. Indecisive Garage says, does anyone else having issues with YouTube? My views have dropped from 700 to 1,000 to 20ish. I don't see any reason why. I've not had any of those. Could just be your content, something about the titles or something like that. I have had problems with the comments not loading. I mean, I don't stress it. YouTube is fun for me. Barry Cuda says MacArthur Park Richard. Are we guessing songs? Rodney Bird is really Admiral. Is he an Admiral? Dan the IT guy talking about how bad my internet is. Yeah, I know it. One-Eyed Cat says, I've had 2 of my 30 in 30 shorts go nowhere. Yeah, I've had some that just fell flat. The one I did on these anti-theft shopping cart wheels actually did pretty good, surprisingly. I think probably the best one I've had this whole 30 for 30 has been the one on the deep pan I put on the van, the transmission pan and filter extension. I think that one was the best. Now, when I did this, we've done this, I think, 3 years now. We've done the 30 shorts in 30 days. And the first year, the views were crazy. But that's because that was before YouTube was monetizing all these shorts. Once they put the money in it, it drove all of these people to making them and it diluted it. And you don't get as many subs from shorts like you used to, or views. That I really don't like they did. Of course, I don't like shorts really at all anyway. I wish everything would drive toward the landscape view. But that's not how people want to watch their content. They want to scroll vertically. The bad thing is we miss so much good stuff filming that way. But it is what it is. Kerosene Cucumbers fills us in on the Darling family. Briscoe Darling, a.k.a. Denver Powell, and his son's a professional bluegrass band, the Dillards. And the Dillards were great. Those episodes are really good. Of course, I enjoyed them all. And you'd ask about the color episodes. They're okay, but really, it's not that they went to color so much as it was that was the end of Barney as the deputy. I think if Barney had stayed on for those 3 years, that would have changed everything. Mostly Mopar, his have done something similar in the last 10 days or so. Yeah, my views are down a little, but we just do it. Unfinished Project puts up the link for Lars. There you go. 2 of our axe swingingest mods have put up the links for one another. And if you have not checked out or subscribed to the channels of Unfinished Project or LP94, I recommend checking them out. And you've got to know those are really good human beings too, or they wouldn't be my mods. So on top of just being really good mods, they're really good people. Mean Street Mopar says my views have dropped compared to past videos, probably because of inconsistent uploads. That will definitely do it. Well, I'll tell you guys, it'll turn around. So don't stress it. Summertime generally has different views from winter either. Anyway. Barry Kuda says we can still have semi-auto 22 rifles, I think. And I think pump action shotguns. Well, those both have their place, that's for sure. Lars puts up the link to the Nan's van video. Yes, you can check that out right after I bought the van. Unfinished Project says, for some reason my cooking videos fall flat. It's not YouTube, it's the videos suck. Well, Lars can put up the link to, and I want you guys to go watch it and let me know if it's not the most mouth-watering lasagna you've ever seen made. Lars knows which one. And I'm telling you it's lasagna because if I don't tell you, you might not know. But if you go watch it, let the uploader know that John Wilburn sent you on a Friday Night Live to watch the lasagna video. Dan the IT guy says, unless you're woke, YouTube won't give you any views. Well, I mean, it's really, there's no question. They definitely have their politics and they definitely use it on you. Michael Jackson's Pepsi commercial of Billie Jean. Is that the song we're guessing? No. Texas Roadhouse theme song, Shakiest Gun in the West. No. No. AR-15 bullets aren't much bigger. Well, a 22 typically ranges 36 to 40 grain. An AR-15 is about 55 to 62. The diameter is virtually the same, 0.003 of an inch, but it's a lot more slug, and it travels a lot faster. But yeah, I mean, the people who make the rules and laws those things don't matter. The AR-15 is scarier. Rob's Rod says, howdy, everyone. Hello, Rob. Yeah, Warren didn't have the same chemistry with Andrea. That is correct. Warren was fine. I can't take anything away from him, but you can't come in and replace Don Knotts. Nobody could have done that. That wasn't fair. Goober is the one that he was supposed to be Gomer Pyle originally, and he didn't get the job. And then when Gomer left to be Gomer Pyle USMC, they brought him in, and he was good in his own right. He was different. So they were different characters, but that wasn't the same situation as when Deputy Warren Ferguson tried to replace Barney Fife. My question for you guys is, who did you like better, Don Knotts? Did you like him as Barney Fife, or did you like him as the landlord in Three's Company, Ralph Furley? Or did you like him as Ben Matlock's friend in the series Matlock? What was your favorite Don Knotts role? Or was it a movie? Tell me what your favorite Don Knotts role was. Steve saying normally my 1 minute shorts do 5 to 700 views, or maybe 500 to 700, I would hope. I have one where a kid ditched his bike running from the cops and it did 15,000, but the kid was already gone. Hey, take it. That's neat. That's fun. Cope is here. You're going to see more of Cope's stuff. I'm going to be getting a transmission parts order in top of the week. And we're going to be refreshing a 727 with lots of Cope goodness. So that'll be fun. Hopefully we'll get it all done here, in July and in Dexter's car, and then we could do some content with the 65 Plymouth. Unfinished Project said, thanks to JB, I have wasted days and wasted nights stuck in my head. Who here has ever heard the song Old Man Kelsey's College? So, GX Empty Nester says, Mr. Furley all day and twice on Sunday. For some reason, that doesn't surprise me at all. Indecisive Garage says, the incredible Mr. Limpet. And so does Dr. Joe. Oh, wow, and kerosene cucumbers. Okay. Fair enough. I'm surprised, but this is why I asked the question. Unfinished Project says he can't pick a favorite because Don Knotts nailed all of his roles, especially the commercials. I love the Dodge truck commercials. The go-kart commercial is my favorite. You know, that's a good point. I didn't think about putting commercials in there, but yeah, you can. We're just making it up as we go, right? Scooby-Doo and Don Knotts, yeah. Barry Cuda says, do you have those dirt bike riders doing wheelies around city streets in America? No, we got a kid on a four-wheeler cutting up in our neighborhood, and that's the way it's fun walking Jethro down through there with that going on. Mohawk says, the ghost of Mr. Chicken. Dean Stevenson said, I thought it was Old Man Kelsey's Collage. No, it's Old Man Kelsey's College. If you know, you know. Barry Coo is talking about the doing wheelies on city streets. No, but there's supposed to be a non-city sanctioned cruise night on Williamson Road going on now. And I'm sure there's dirt bike wheelies and all kind of craziness going on. That's what that thing has turned into, and that's why the city doesn't sanction it anymore. That's about 30 miles from here. Old Man Kelsey University. Well, but no, it's Old Man Kelsey's College, built on truth and knowledge. Unfinished Project says the Little Dumpling Gang is a great Don Knotts movie. I would agree with that. Barrow says the dirt bikes and side-by-sides are a common thing for sure. He's out in the country. Yeah. Dean Stevenson wants to know, does Old Man Kelsey have a doghouse? No. Colleen's exhausted from work, headed to bed. Good night. Thank you for coming by. We appreciate you. And so far, I'm not feeling any ill effects yet. I suspect that's just Diet Dr. Pepper. You know, when I hit 90 days to go, there's a lot of administrative No Name National stuff I got to get on. Barry Cuda says in Melbourne, Australia, they have gangs of those dirt bikers armed with machetes. It's out of control. We would never have that here. They'd get shot. For real. It's ridiculous. It wouldn't happen here. Dan the IT guy says, I want to start building some adult-sized mini bikes, go-karts and quad bikes, the twin. Build one and film it. We'd like to see it. Build your prototype and show it to us. Do content on it. You, in fact, Dan, you've got 89 days, 3 hours, and 14 minutes to build your prototype and bring it to the No Name Nationals. How many subs does Dan the IT guy have? I mean, I know he can register on the GXEN channel. He could certainly do that. I'm really sure it has more than enough subscribers. Very few. That's okay. Every channel starts with very few. Valiant Adventure 1973. I remember I was their like 10th sub, I want to say. And a few weeks later, she cleared her 500. 306. Okay, but you're still in striking distance. So GXEN, you guys can get your subs. You can do it and participate at the No Name Nationals. You got plenty of time. You're at 306. We still have Crystal's, I'm assuming that's pasta chopper sitting in the garage. Pasta sounds good. I baked a pan of pasta last week, cut it in 10 servings, froze it, ate on that pasta all week. Need to do that again. GXEN says, I'm doing Joyful July starting next week. 30 days of positivity. Sounds like fun. Sounds like a good thing. Blue Grit says 90 days left and Anna's No Name Nationals engine is still a machine shop prison. That sounds very machine shopish. Yes, it does. Barrow's got news today. The 72 Ranchero I gave away at the first No Name Nationals will be going down the track this year. First for the car and first for the fine young man that won it. Outstanding. Isn't it awesome to watch this come around full circle? What a story. You guys got to come out and see this stuff. Chris 103 Custom says, I'm taking a 4.2 inline 6 I want to put in a 70 aluminum Chevy step van out of a Trailblazer. Those are great engines. And if you want to see what those can do, Nivlac 57, that's the place. Those are the 4.2 Chevy 4200 guys right there. They do some incredible stuff with those. Buff says it isn't always about counting subs, but making the subs count. This is true. Buff has done a lot of great shorts, a lot of great content, engages with the subs, and I would agree with that. And Buff's built a big channel too. Bigfoot Mark, he says, hey, I'm late. We're glad you're here. Cope's Guess, Wilburn's hated song, Safety Dance by Men Without Hats. I don't know that song. I don't think I want to. Yeah, there's no reason to worry about subs at all. Be happy with what you have. But it is a fun experience getting 500 subs through community engagement. That's what the No Name 500 is all about. That's what it's about. We don't do it for any exclusivity or anything like that. There's a reason we don't. It gets people to engage, show what you're working on, and all of that. That's why we do it, and it works. Blue says, I'd like to win Bear Rose's Corvair. Indirect Connection says, how's it going? Well, I don't know if that's for me or for John Cope, but it's going. How's that? I took apart my friend Dexter 727. I finished the teardown on that today because I had to be out of town yesterday. And you guys are going to get to see that go together, and we'll get it in the car and all of that. Chris 103, waiting for my Cletus Turbo giveaway phone call for it. Okay. Well, I am definitely Gen X, GXEN. Can't place that song, but I'm definitely a Gen Xer. I'm pre-millennial. Indirect connection, Jason says, how are you both? Well, I know Cope was headed up for some lake action today. Jethro and I don't get the evening walk in on the Friday because of the live on Friday night, but we always make up for that on Saturday. We've been walking our 0.8 of a mile up to the neighborhood playground twice a day. We got to doing it too late this morning. I had a lot of stuff come up this morning, had a Zoom meeting and then something else. Anyway, we didn't get on our walk until noon. So the sun was right overhead. And when I do that, I got to take my path a little differently. So I go from shade to shade with Jethro. And he rests up and does another section, and rests up and does another section. But I try to get it about 7 o'clock, well, about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning so that, it's nice and cool out. And then in the evening, about the same. But this time we didn't avoid the heat. So I had to do it a little differently. It worked fine. GXCN, it's my homework. Listen to the safety dance tonight. I assure you it'll become your new most hated song. I don't think it can do that. I don't think it can. There's a lot of really bad music out there, but I don't see it replacing the other. Mohawk's got a pretty good guess here, right, said Fred. Yeah, that's a good guess, but it's not it. Yeah, that song, lift the lid on the dumpster, dump it in, close it tight. That's fine, but it's not it. I cannot believe how interested you guys are in guessing this, but nobody's gotten it. I probably have heard that, but I need to listen again. I'll know if I had or not. Cope said he hated that stupid safety dance song, so it was just a shot dark. Yeah. Cope is a big fan of anything with trunk bass. Oh, yeah, you can dance if you want to. We can leave your friends behind. Yeah. Yeah, I'm familiar with that. Is that the lyrics? If you are, I'm very familiar with that. And no, that's nowhere close. No, that song's not bad. So is that the song you're talking about from Men at Work? Is that it? Indirect? Is that the same? Is that what you're talking about? Because if it is, no, that's not my least favorite. That one's not bad. I don't have a problem with that. Indirect connection. What song were you asking about? They're trying to guess that song, my least favorite song too. Very cool. There's a prize for guessing it. Yes, there is. We'll definitely have a prize for guessing it. You bet. Wow. No, that's nowhere near my least favorite song. Nah, that's just 80s pop weirdness. It's fine. Can you give us a hint? No, there's no hints. There's no hints. No hint. See, when people start doing all that hint stuff, it just unravels. And no, I'm fine if nobody gets it for years. I don't care. I'm fine. I'm fine if you don't. But somehow it came up that I do have a least favorite song. Okay, all right. That's what Cope said. Yeah, I'm familiar with that song. I can hear it now in my head. Let's see. Barrows says, Pop Goes the World. Same band, but my vote for worst song would have to be God Gave Rock and Roll by Kiss. I heard about Kiss. I think it was Gene Simmons that said that people don't listen to music with their ears. They listen to music with their eyes. And that's why Kiss wanted to put on such a show. Bigfoots and Mopars. Hard to be humbled, Mac. Never heard of it. 6th Street Garage has a lot of bad music, especially the disco era. I don't know. Disco's okay. I'm disco era. I'm a Malaise era person. No, I don't mind. Barry Cuda says Uncle Tony and his wife like to say, I could see that. He and Kathy, yeah. Okay. Mellow Yellow. I don't know if that's a song, but what's the name of that song? The band is Yellow. It was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I can't think of the name of it. But the music was by Yellow. Oh, I know what you're Melio. No, I know what you're talking about now. I know what you're talking about now. Melio, yeah. Now there's so much terrible music to choose from. It's unbelievable. Yeah. Yeah. GXN gets it. Oh yeah. That's it. That's it. Whew, that's not that listenable to me, but it worked for the movie. It was fine for that. Yeah, there's tons of terrible music. Now, you guys in the comments, what is your personal least favorite song ever? You get one answer. So pick your least favorite song ever and put it in the comments. But you just get one. You can't say, well, it's this one, and this one. No, one. I have one. You guys can have one. Bigfoot at Mopar says 90 days bare shell of a 63 Belvedere. Might start on it in a week or two. Ooh, okay. How is the paint coming, sir? Because I'm telling you, what he sent me is looking amazing. I'm excited to see this Belvedere. Bigfoots and Mopars did not down to one song, but he said anything by Quiet Riot. GX Countdown by Europe. Okay. Buff said I was right about fuel prices dropping for No Name Nationals, 318 in Oklahoma. Yeah, they do every time. You can count on it like the sun rises and sets. When we get into the fall, midterm election year, you're going to see the prices go down. It happens every time. And we knew all these peace talks were going to come up in the summer because we got to get to the election. It's always like that. It's always like that. Okay. Matthew Ward 627, aka 6th Street Garage, says, don't take the girl. Tim McGraw's his least favorite. Barrows is saying Bay City Rollers. Sitting next to them with Andy Gibb in the driver's seat. That's not a song. Jay's Junker says anything by Nirvana. Go with that. Oh, man. Barry Cuda, is this your least favorite? Walking on Sunshine by Katrina and the Waves? Chris also says Big Blocks for All. Okay. I'm good with that. Even though I like small blocks. Talking about songs people hate but Uncle Tony loves right here. Brooks says Inagata Davida by Iron Butterfly. Tony loves that song. And Levi loves it. So there you go. Danny Boyd says here, but on the phone, like a whole lot of y'all. Well, we're almost an hour into this, and I've not croaked yet, so how long would it take if this was tainted with poison to kill me? Brooke, you're a good one to ask this. So I had this unlabeled, presumably Diet Dr. Pepper. There was no label ever affixed to it when I got it, in with a 6-pack of Diet Dr. Pepper. We think it's Diet Dr. Pepper, but I said I was going to open it live and drink it tonight, and we'll just see what happens. So I opened this 57 minutes ago, and I'm not dead yet. So well, Brooke says it depends on the poison. Yes, it does, because the poison that's already in it, aspartame, it takes decades to kill you. So not that poison, but I was thinking they probably would have put something more potent in there. How about favorite songs? Well, let's let the least favorites cycle through, then we'll go to the favorites. Let's let the least... Anybody else? Let's do last call for least favorites. Nah, see, that's a category. Gin juice, Mohawk says. Almost all right. Okay, yeah. Jason says, Kiss Me by Sixpence None the Richer. Yeah. My fist heads up for radio when I hear my ears start getting raped by that. Yeah, that's you know, every week I do Mad Mardigan's music trivia on YouTube. Shout out to him. He does a great job there. It's Jeopardy style music trivia. And gosh, he mixes in these ridiculous 2000s boy bands. And it's like, oh, it's terrible. Like Blink 182 and these kind of people. Brooke says, but knowing you're drinking it, if it was poisoned, you would know pretty soon, like way before an hour in. Well, we're not an hour yet. It's close. Dan the IT guy says, I love you, you love me by Barney the Purple Dinosaur. I just threw up in my mouth. That's legit. Levi says, no one spiked that because even criminals know Dr. Pepper only exists for psych patients. I'll leave that one alone. Okay, so we'll kick off favorite music now here. Jason said for favorite music, Merle Haggard is a go-to. No. Let's not do this broad thing or by artist. Favorite song. It's got to be one song. Junkyard D says, crawled in my skin, Lincoln Park. Yeah, yeah. Ben Rose has been to too many car shows to ever want to hear anything but the Beach Boys ever again. Yeah, it's a sad thing. The Beach Boys is not bad. It's just these car shows wear that sock hop stuff out, and it's all sock hop and surf music. And why has it been that way our entire lives at car shows? Now, there's that expression, be careful what you ask for, right? Be careful what you wish. You just might get it. I will take the sock hop and surf music over them saying, oh, well, let's just do rap. I'd never go again. So, but I got to tell you, the car shows have just become a disaster lately. I mean, more and more of this modern stuff and speakers and trunk bass and huge wheels and all that. And I don't go for that. I remember there was a local car show here in Christiansburg a few years ago. You could count every car 75 and down on one hand. Most of it was all late model Chargers and late model cars. A friend of mine brought his Hemi Superbird in a trailer, an enclosed. Only car, only muscle car of that age there. I think there were 5 cars 74 and down that I counted. Dan the IT guy's favorite is Rooster by Alice in Chains. Barry Cuda says, I love the Beach Boys, favorite band. There you go. They're okay. I don't have a problem with them. But I definitely got people get sick of it. Gen X Empty Nesters, my favorite is Tennessee Whiskey. Brooke says, on an exciting note, I finished my first week of registered nurse orientation at my new job this week. Congratulations. Off till Wednesday and then work Wednesday through Friday and then Sunday. Cool. Great. I like that you're making career moves and enjoying it. Unfinished Projects says, call me crazy. I enjoy Indian music. Really? You know, one time I put this music on just to see how long it would stay on before my passenger tapped out. There you go, Unfinished Projects. You can jam to that. I'm telling you, I made it about a minute. Before the tap out. That was tough. But I'll tell you, it is fun having that on hand, like when a telemarketer calls you. And no, it's not my least favorite ever. That's Tunak Tune. Yeah, it's the name of that. Dollar Mindy, who's like some kind of pop star over there, but he's nearly my age, but he's a pop star over there. The music video is atrocious. It looks like somebody put it together in their garage, but hey, let's see, 41 million views on that video. Dylan enjoys music with no words. What a weirdo. Well, that almost counts. Lars, I feel like I'm at work now. Yeah, watch me get a copyright claim for that, which I wouldn't care if I did. It's kind of funny. All the telemarketers are AI now. Yeah, I don't know. I have some fun with them, but you can't with the AI. Barry Coos says, I think probably the only Beach Boys songs they play at car shows are Barbara Ann, Little Deuce Coupe. That would wear on anyone. Yeah, for real. Little Deuce Coupe has been just worn out at car shows. I mean, worn completely out. Oh, it's just like Metallica, Enter Sandman. Nothing wrong with that. Good song. But Tech, they just wore it out. You just can't do that to good music. At least you shouldn't. Dan the IT guy, just for you. I'll let you look at the video on your own. The video is so ridiculous. You'll watch for a minute just to watch the music video. Dan the ID guy. Do the well God bless game, starting into every sentence with well God bless. No way. That would wear on me. One-eyed cat, I think my ears are bleeding now. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. It was just getting to the good part. No, there is no good part. You can listen to it if you want. That song is 4 minutes and 16 seconds. There is no good part. Laura says, Old Man Kelsey's college has an Indian music program, I think. Interact Jason. I know every Turban Suburban I'm passing down the interstate has that playing. It may. It may. I remember one time watching an episode of The Sopranos. They were in a taxi cab in, I think it was in Paris. And the driver had some just crazy music playing. I remember that thinking, oh my gosh, could imagine getting stuck in a cab with that. Of course, it's just a cab. You're only going to be in there once, right? All right, now Mexico is here. Now you got Mexico representing. I have not seen it yet. I need to. Mexican Spec sent me a video, a VW promotional video from 1970 with racing. I really want to see that. I watched about a minute of it, and I had some stuff I was doing, but I want to see that. That looked really cool. Just for you, Mexican Spec, in case you missed it. Oh, gosh. Oh, my gosh. The worst part of getting somebody with that is you have to listen to it again, too. But no, just in case anybody here is not really paying attention, that is not my least favorite song. It's not my least favorite. That's not it. That music does not exist in my universe. It does now. It does now. I just played it. Hey, Mexican Spec, whatever you do, don't get this stuck in your head when you're asleep tonight. Whatever you do, don't get that stuck in your head. Consciously make an effort to not get that stuck in your head. Yeah, just don't get that stuck in your head, whatever you do. Yeah, that's the one, though. I like spraying on telemarketers. When the scam call center puts you on hold, no, we're not that lucky. I have a hard time keeping scammers on the line. I really do. I wish I could. I had some scammer. He's a real low effort scammer trying to do some kind of real estate scam. And he's low effort, man. He's got too many lines in the water, doesn't remember who he's talking to, doesn't match the conversations well, trying to do, I don't know what the scam is, but he's not doing very well. They need to put in some effort. Indirect Connection wants to pay $5 for that song to be requested at No Name Nationals 26 for Dead Dodge Garage, Vintage Adventure Drives, and Shane to play. What, Tunak Tune by Dollar Mindy? I'll come up with that. Mexican Spec got a message from a Turkish guy with a UK phone number living in Florida. He wants a vehicle per month sent, paid by crypto. Should I take it seriously? If you do, keep us posted. See how far that scam will go. Mohawk says, sounds like the music they play in the background while the guy in sandals squatting down welding a 5-ton axle back together. Yes, it does. It does. Maybe that's productivity music. Maybe that's what it is. Oh, that just sounds fantastic. Of course. Yeah, we need to get Dean and that Turkish car investor hooked up. Yes. You guys just ask them. Thank you, Peckerwood Customs there, and I appreciate that. But yeah, let's just ask them. That's fine. Let's ask them. I can just see the look on their face. Now, who do you want to hear sing the solo? Now I can see all three. I can kind of hear it actually. Mexican Specs, I told the guy I can only take cash and nothing else. I have to have cash in hand before anything moves at all. Yeah, that's understandable. That is really understandable. Gosh, oh my. I need to send something. Lars, your unfinished project. You guys listen because you guys want to watch this. I got a link from our friend John Cope. Oh, I can't carry a tune in a wheelbarrow, Don. Don't worry about it. Any of our mods, I know Colleen went to bed. Lars, unfinished project, you in here? Because I can't post this, but I'd like to. I'm going to try. Because this is something really worth seeing. It's kind of a wild car purchase scam. Let's see if I can do this without making a bunch of echo and stuff. Okay. I just posted it. That's a link I got from John Cope about a guy who tried to buy 2 muscle cars from a fella up in Minnesota. And this guy already had a criminal history with stuff. And then he's gotten paid on 2 of these cars and has yet to deliver $300,000 of this guy's money he's holding. No cars delivered. And 1 car he sold has been proven he never owned. Belongs to somebody else. Interesting stuff. You guys will want to give that a read. It's a watch. It's a video. It's very interesting. Aaron's got something going on in the Barracuda. Make some content of it. We'd like to see it. Who would wire 300K? This guy. Well, and the thing is, Mexican Spec, you just need to watch the video. Mason Roberts says, hello, am I late to the party? Big Mike says, I hate scammers so much. There's something. Barracuda says, I did think you lived in Tennessee. That's why I mentioned Honest Charlie's. You're in West Virginia? No, I'm in Virginia. I was born just across the state line, not a mile across the state line in Bluefield, West Virginia. But I've never been a West Virginia resident. I've always been a resident of Southwest Virginia. That's where I am right now. I'm about an hour drive away from West Virginia and about an hour drive away from North Carolina and not quite 2 hour drive from Tennessee. Mexican specs is people have to pay up front. 10 of them have so far. Yeah, I don't blame you at all. There's so many scams going on with cars because of the money involved. It is understandable. Well, he is collecting. I mean, the kind of guy who's got enough money to send 300,000's got enough money to pay legal fees. So he's collecting. Here's the bad thing. Obviously I haven't heard the other side of this story at all, but assuming if it is legit, it seems to be. You know, if there's 300,000 of his missing, how much money is missing from other people? So even if you get a judgment on this guy, are you going to be able to get your money back? I mean, that's the thing. I don't know how much of his money he'll get back. Finished it off. I'm still upright. Barracuda says almost heaven. Yeah, I guess. Depends where you are in the state. Southern West Virginia. My mother was born in the poorest county in the United States of America. And I was born in the adjacent county. In fact, BBC Australia came to Southern West Virginia, to McDowell County, to do a story because it was the poorest county in all of America. When they did it, they did it, I think, not long after the big financial collapse around 2008 to 2010. One-Eyed Cat says, I won't even wire $30. I trust no one. Well, that's the only way they'll take the funds, when you're buying a house or something. But I'll tell you, there's so much fraud with wires. There's a lot of hoops to jump through to wire money now. Beckerwood Custom says, I tracked down and recovered $1,000 from some loser who thought he was going to take it from me for $300,000. The punishment will be epic. Yeah, we'll see. Indirect Jason's going to start naming lyrics during this live. Well, you can if you want. But again, if it's just lyrics, wouldn't count. You'd have to give the name of the song title if you want to try to guess that. Old McDonald just got back from shopping. Thanks for joining us. Wendy's back in here after being the first one here tonight. I have no idea what Buff's talking about. He says just because it's the right shape doesn't mean the alloy will hold. Okay. One of these lives, I'm going to remember to raise that window first. It's that time of year. I need to cool it off in here more. Beckerwood Custom says 90 days isn't long now. No, it's not. 3 months. Tick, tick, tick. Old McDonald says we have family coming over tomorrow and we get to see our first grandnephew. Cool. Congratulations. Oh, my. Jason says, I just got back from Williamsburg, Virginia. I wish I had time to chat. Well, cool. I love Williamsburg. It's one of my favorite places in this state. If I couldn't live here, I could live there. Yeah, I need to go back out there sometime. Very cool to see in UTG's latest video. He's talking about a Hyundai. The engine has to come out to replace the alternator, a 17-hour job. They bury it pretty good in a CRV too. Some are like that. First engine I ever built was an 89 Hyundai Excel. Turned out great. Kia Stinger, okay. All stuff I would never want to own. Man, I've changed a few alternators in terrible places. You know, here's the thing. I changed an alternator one time on a Kia Sedona minivan. One of the cogs for the timing belt is right in the way of the alternator. And the best way to change it is to take that cog off. But now you know what that means. You got to keep everything tensioned so that you don't lose your timing. You do it, you can do it that way. It's not easy, but you can do it. Meanwhile, on a Ford Windstar, made about the same time and everything, it's right on top. Changing an alternator on a Ford Windstar, 20-minute job if you're slow. Nothing to it. It's actually easier than the old cars. I don't get it. Why can't they just put the alternator up on top on everything? Mostly Mopar said Georgia will be pretty close to perfect if we could get rid of humidity, gnats, mosquitoes in Atlanta. That's a pretty good list. That's a pretty good list. Yeah. Mohawk sees Ron Ward in here. I've not seen Ron Ward in here. Is he here? I have not seen Ron. You're not confusing mostly Mopar with mostly old parts, are you? Yeah, I like Georgia. I like the area where my aunt lived in Decula. I like Covington a lot, actually. Barry Kuda said my brother had an 89 Excel, gave it to Dad. He died and I got it, used it till it died. My dad had an 89 Hyundai Excel. He bought it at auction in 1991. 2-year-old cream puff with like 36 or 38,000 miles. He drove it to 106,000 miles, and the engine was so worn out that it would hardly even move up a hill and smoked so badly. I built an engine for that car and got it over 400,000 miles and still have it. One of these years, I'd like to do a video on it. Indirect Connection says Covington has to be great. The Dukes of Hazzard was there. Yes, there's actually a slideshow on my channel from 9 years ago where I took pictures of some of the Dukes of Hazzard filming locations. We got Covington Town Square, where that was Hazzard for the first season of the show. We've got, the Boar's Nest, the original Boar's Nest, which is now a black church in Oxford, Georgia. We've got the parking garage where the opening credits jump were. We've got the Cine Hall where the end of the opening credits, that jump there. We've got that. We've got the jump from High Octane, that intersection. Lots of filming locations in there. So that's on my channel. from 2017. I could go next year and do a 10-year update. I'm sure a lot of stuff isn't still there. Uncle Jesse's house was gone when I did that. It's been gone a while now. Mexican Spec was going to buy a new Kia. Glad I didn't have the money. Okay. I don't plan to ever buy another vehicle. The year begins with a 2. Stephen Holtz just driving. Says, howdy, y'all. Hello, Stephen. Glad you could be in here. Barrows says, Tony also brought up the North Star with the starter in the valley. Funny thing is, the 1914 Chevy V8 had the starter in the same place, but it was wide open and easy back then. The Nelsons have a North Star powered car, and they say that starter's not too bad to get to. I've seen it. Yeah, it is kind of crazy looking, but it's not all that bad. I wouldn't want to do one. Indirect connection, Jason says that church, the Boar's Nest is still there. Yes, it is. It is still there. Yep, looks fine. That doesn't have any of the Boar's Nest, sign or any of that anymore, of course. Barry Cuda said, my Excel ended with pumping oil out of the carburetor. Yeah, they would get really bad for that. Mine would turn 4,050 RPM at 70. US 191, do you ever do any real estate towards Lee County or that area? Are you talking about the far southwest corner? No. I've never, that's a good 4-hour drive for me. It's way down there. You're talking like Pennington Gap and down in there. Kerosene Cucumber says, y'all know Smoking Bandit was in Clayton County, Georgia, the whole movie. Yeah. Blue Grit like my slideshow. Yeah. Thank you. Just a slideshow. I would do something a little bit different if I did it again today, because 2017, I just took pictures and made a slideshow. I didn't really know what I was doing. Not that I know what I'm doing now, but I would do something better today. I just, one day while I was visiting my aunt, I said, you know what? I'm down here. I want to go do this. So I looked around and tried to figure out where stuff was and just did it. Tried to take pictures from the same angles that they did. A security guard walked up to me while I was getting the last one from the end of the opening credits. And I told him what I was doing. I don't think he even knew. Now, he didn't know that that was in the credits for the original run of the Dukes of Hazzard. He was plenty old enough to know. I don't know why he didn't know. But he remembered that when they made the Dukes of Hazzard, I don't know if it was the Dukes of Hazzard movie or some other jump they did. Like, right after the Dukes of Hazzard movie revival, they decided we have too many Chargers. Let's trash a few hundred more, because there was all these people doing that, which I just think was absolutely ridiculous. So they destroyed one there, original Charger, for that. And he remembered that. They had to get permission to do it and jumped it there and all that. But it was in the original credits. They had taken, there's no road, there's no vehicle traffic anymore in front of this building. So now it's a brick sidewalk, but you can still walk out there and take pictures. The building is obviously still the same. Indirect Jason just says he's decided if I just quit my job and be homeless, so I come over there. I get that. He said his family wouldn't be happy. Well, that's a good reason not to do it. Oh, look at that. As soon as he mentions that, here comes the boss. Tanya jumps in there like, oh, no, you're not either. Exactly. Thank you for joining us. We're glad you could swing in. Yeah, you're so busted. Exactly. Yeah. He just got level. He got the wrecking ball. He thought he was safe. Yeah, you keep him in check. He even keeps the dogs in check. Look how they're perfectly lined up there. If I can do this. See there on that. What am I doing wrong here? They're on a plane just like that. See that? Jason says the look I'm getting is shorter than a leash. Miss Tanya, since you're in here, what plans do you have? What's your new stuff that you want to do for No Name Nationals in September? Tanya's working on upholstery. Neat. Neat. I predict it'll look nicer than some shoebox Chevy upholstery we've seen recently. And a left rear axle bearing. Yeah, not bad. I've actually had good luck doing those, putting the bearing on a kerosene heater, grab it with a welding glove, and slam it home. Got them to go like that without any driving on them or anything. Tanya says, we shall see. I'm definitely not an expert. That doesn't stop anybody here. Barry Kuda says, I'm a fan of John Schneider, but I hate that mass destruction of Chargers he was involved with. Would have been happy enough without those jumps. Yeah, he destroyed a little over 300 cars. I mean, you got to remember, John Schneider was 18 years old when they hired him for that. Okay? I mean, he didn't pick the car. He didn't buy them up. Guy Waldron did that. He picked the car. Tom Sarmento, who's been on this show, was the mechanic for the show. He got them ready for their destruction. You can see that. It was on this channel. Tom Sarmento's been on here before. He has a book too, and I'm sure I have a link under the video. You can buy it. You can get his book and read all the behind the scenes of the General Lees and the building of them and all of that stuff. We just spelled all kinds of crazy rumors about the cars and all of that. Charger 383 Mopar William. Hello, sir. Thank you for coming by. Mexican Spec says Charger owners today love the destruction of those cars. Without that, their cars would be worth much less. It did popularize the Charger, because if you look at the prices of the B bodies, the Chargers just shoots way above the Coronet, Satellite, Belvedere, any of that. Charger definitely the highest price of the B bodies. T's Good Time Garage says, evening, what did I miss? Everything. You remember in No Country from Old Men when the guy at the gas station says, well, what do I stand to win on this coin toss? Anton says, everything. You stand to win everything. Just call it. Well, T, I drank my unlabeled Dr. Pepper, and I haven't died yet. And I taste like Dr. Pepper, so I feel pretty confident that it was not poison. The stuff I do for science, just to entertain you people. It was definitely a better experience than the 2-year-old Dr. Pepper I found under the seat in Dad's Jeep. That was not good. There were still a lot of Chargers built. There were, and they command premium prices today. Garbage condition Chargers command a lot of money. When I was a kid, it wasn't that way. It wasn't that way at all. I remember a used car lot had a 69 Charger, big block car. It's like $1,300 when I was a teenager. But see, that seemed like a lot of money because it was a lot more money than you could buy an A-body for, a nice A-body. Yeah, T's a wild man. I can imagine he'd have tried it. Rust got more Chargers in the show. Yeah, but I mean, just destroying these things for fun, that's, you know. A lot of movie they wrecked Chargers into. Nothing like Dukes of Hazzard. Dirty Mary Crazy Larry certainly destroyed that yellow 69, but they destroyed one. Old McDonald has a car. You should rival Uncle Tony and do burnouts on buttered pasta. Well, I like pasta. And I make my baked pasta. I use butter. I need to do that again. I should do that tomorrow. I should make another pan of pasta. I ate pasta for a whole week when I baked that pan. It's just me and Jethro here, and he doesn't eat pasta. He likes the meat, but he doesn't eat the pasta. So it lasts a long time. I wind up freezing it. Manic Mechanic says, here's one for you. My 91 S10 has a 9-inch Ford full float rear end that uses Mopar studs for the wheels. I can see that. Make sure your studs are long enough to get proper thread engagement per the AHRA rule book. That's a big one. Mexican Spec likes the first generation Chargers over the second. My favorite is the 68. I think it's beautiful. I really like the one from Bullitt. Old McDonald's had ate lasagna almost all last week. My wife made a lot of it. Yeah, I love lasagna. I make a baked pasta. It's a lot like a lasagna. Three and a half inch long ARP studs. Okay, so they're ARPs, but they're Mopar sized. Yeah, there you go. Deckerwood Customs loves a 66 Charger. Yeah, I mean, that first gen, it's not really my style, but it is good. Williams partial, but likes a 68 also. Yeah, I really like that body style of Williams. He's a 68 guy too. Found mine when they were more reasonable. Yeah, no kidding. They're crazy now. A lot more love with the 66. The 68's more of a two-door Coronet. No, it isn't. It's a Charger. It's not a Coronet. Everything is different. Really, it is. I understand what you're talking about with the commonality. I get that. I do get that. I know what you're saying, but Manic Mechanic says on top of that, the Chevy 4 and 3/4 bolt pattern. Yeah. Well, a friend of mine ran both the 4.5 and the 4 3/4 at the same time. He had wheels with both patterns. He had axles with both patterns. He drilled the brakes, and he ran a 10-lug rear because he did not have the 5/8 studs at the time when the car was built, and he was breaking the 1/2-inch studs. It was a gear jammer car. So he ran 10-lug wheels. Yeah, he says the 66 is elegant in a lot of ways. Yeah, I get it. 68, it became a normal car. No, it didn't become a normal car. It became different. Charger 383, 68 first year, the big body, and only year for the round taillights and mark lights. Yes, I really, really like the round taillights of the 68. And I liked the 68 grill better than any of the others. I liked that simple grill of the 68. I liked it better than the big divider for 69. I liked it better than the wrapped bumper of 70. I liked it better than any of that. Peckerwood Custom says at the moment I'd like to get enough coin for a 68 notchback Barracuda to sit next to my fastback. Good, go for it, man. I like the notchbacks. Manic Mechanic can run either bolt pattern, but you're running Chevy pattern, right? Round tail lights too? Yes. I really like the dual round tail lights in the 68 Charger. I just think that was the best looking of all of them. And it's subjective. I mean, people can like what they like. You rarely hear anybody say the best looking Charger was a 75. But you know, I might take a 75 over a 74. Busted Radio Garage says 90 days. Is everyone ready? A better question is anyone ready? How you doing, Chris? Thank you for dropping by. Glad you're here. Barracuda doesn't like the 66.7, but they are a bit weird looking. Yes, they are. I always thought the 66.7 Charger. What I didn't like about them really was like the dash. You got that wild looking instrument lights and stuff, and the luxury stuff. It's a little too much stuff going on for me. I like simple, clean. Even all of your B bodies had a little more going on. I like the simplicities of the A bodies a little better. Manic Mechanics run the Chevy pattern to be universal with our other vehicles in the fleet. Yes, it's a very good reason to do it. Peckerwood Customs says there's a 70s ones here and sat for a while. I mean, I like the 70s Chargers. I do. I think they're cool. A friend of mine had a 72, and he died when he was 30, 37 years old, something close. And when he died, it's either his mom or his widow tried to sell it, and they consigned it with some guy, and he just stole it. But it's a 72 318 car, had 68,000 original miles. But it was rough because he was a teenager and messed with all kind of stuff on it. But it was still a solid rust-free car. 68,000 original mile, air conditioning car, 318. And it's out there somewhere. I'd love for it to get found. Some guy just stole it. He was supposed to consign it, and somehow he calmed the title away from him. And it was just, I don't know. I mean, obviously, he couldn't sell it with the title as a stolen car, but something happened. Somehow he just absconded with the car. Never was seen again. Dr. Doe said in 1985, my first child was about to be born just when my 55-year-old coworker offered me his 68 440 Charger for $5,500 in B5 blue and a black final top. I was a broke kid, so that one got away. I understand that feeling completely. Ooh, William's asking, speaking of getting ready, I have a quick question. Would a go-kart be okay as a pit vehicle, keeping to 5 miles an hour, obviously? Yeah, I guess. We just want to limit. We definitely don't want it to turn into Mad Max in the pits, but yeah, I guess that's fine. Not enough people use monkey bikes for pit vehicles. Manic Mechanic says 90 days and I have a rolling chassis and a garage full of parts. Someone is loving me right now. Yep. Tick, tick, tick. 89 days. What do we have? 89 days, 2 hours and 11 minutes. You've got time. Busted Radio's working on his shop remodel. That looks like an exciting project. Indirect Jason says he's started a new job. He's home about 6 days a month. Oh, man, that's rough. That's rough. It's a season in your life, so I guess you do what you got to do. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I just, we just got to keep it. So I just can't have people cutting up in the pits of pit vehicles. Got to be careful with that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't have a problem with it. Aaron says a guy drag raced a 66 Barracuda here in Brisbane, and it's a sweet body style, that back window. Yeah, those are cool. There's a lot of cool ones. Which back window of Barracuda do you guys like best? The one that was the full aquarium or the one that was a little bit smaller for the fastback? Indirect Jason says, most likely my No Name Nationals car this year will be my 67 Belvedere because I'm driving it there and the seat cushion is still present, unlike the Satellite. Manic Mechanic, I will be ready, I hope, in time for Indecisive Garage is ready for me to call him out. We got to see it. When is the Deke episode? You know what? Let's get Deke scheduled for right after 4th of July. How does that sound? I'm going to see if he is free for that following week. And we will have Deke on to discuss tech. Usually I like to put it back a little later because most of the time the people who have the most to do to pass tech are the people who've already got it together. Like with ETs and cages and such, people generally know. And people always ask about cages, but that rarely is the problem. The problem is all the other stuff. You know, the wheel studs is a big one. You run those thick hub aluminum wheels, you got to have the studs to match. Wheel studs, drive shaft loops, battery hold downs, and radiator overflow bottles. If I had to pick a top 4, it's those. Mohawk says, I'm ready to go. I wasn't able to get any gears, so I'm ready to head to Sykeston. Can't get any gears. Aren't you looking for like a 391 is probably a little more than you want. 323, you know, at least, or 355. You run a tall tire, so I would probably err toward a 373 or so with that, because you run a tall tire on that car. Yeah, we'll get Deke scheduled up. I don't put it too early because, frankly, we get too early, people aren't getting their stuff together yet. Yeah, something with Indecisive Tim, Manic Mechanic. We know you guys will have it together. Barry Coodle liked the way the Hemi under glass looked. Yeah, why not? I thought it was cool. They did find Bob Riggle's original. It was rough, but it was found a while back. Peckerwood Custom says the only thing he'll be racing is to the computer to watch this year's video coverage. Yeah, man, we really hope you can make it 1 year soon. There's Williams' proposed pit vehicle. That is gnarly looking, man. Mohawk said I was looking for 355s or 373s, but I don't have time to change it out now. You can't change a set of gears in 3 months? Oh, my gosh. Why not? I'll tell you what, Mohawk, I think if you just bring your gears and get an install kit with the shims and bearings and stuff and bring your pump and bring us, obviously don't take apart the one you have now, keep it, but just find you another housing. I bet you we can put it together there. I mean, can bring a checker bearing and a dial indicator to get your pinion depth and put it together. Yeah, it's an 8 3/4. Oh, I mean, well, there's plenty of time to do it. You have a whole pit crew there. We could change that thing out in an hour. Indirect Jason says, which rear end and what axles do you have? I have a 456 spool we can throw in for the racing. There you go, Mohawk. You know what? That's what you should do right there. Just bring it. We'll all help you swap it out. It won't take any time to swap it. And I realize on yours, you got to take the shocks loose to get it to drop down enough to change. But that's no problem. We got it. We got a whole crew there. Won't be any problem. We can swap it up. Yeah, it's already set up. 456 with a spool. Throw that thing in there and see what that car will really turn. You run a tall enough tire and it's 8th mile, that 456 should be just fine. We could definitely do it if you want to do it. raise the car up over the top. Yeah, we can do it. Swap it in, swap it out. No better place to do it than right there. The big thing is Jason's got that one set up. Old McDonald wants a 391. Yeah, I want a 391 for the van. I've got an 8 3/4 van housing. I want an 8 3/4 for the van because that'll be perfect to do the overdrive. Changes centers. Yeah, he's got something with his tire clearance. He's got like every millimeter of tire it can take, and some deal where the shocks have to be taken loose or something to even take the tires off. I don't think he can even do a tire change in the field on that car conventionally. Stovall Farms and Garage, driving home in a storm. Have a great evening, everyone. Hey, man, be careful in that storm. Be careful. Stovall's been making some progress with the shorts. Still got a ways to go, but he can do it. Anybody can do it. There's still 89 days, 2 hours, and 3 minutes left. So if you've not yet checked out Stovall Farms and Garage, a.k.a. Dave Stovall, go check him out. He's got some good videos. I liked some that he's done on personal protective equipment and spraying. He's got some clear coat on there I'm finding interesting I want to check out. He said it's a really good, durable rattle can clear. It's a different lead than what you used to see. Twisted Dennis has got rain there. He said, but the heat is coming. We haven't had nearly as much rain this weekend as the forecast suggested. Yeah, man, it's up to you, Mohawk. Jason said he'll bring it. We'd love to see it. I bet it would pick that car up handsomely. Oh, be a world of difference. You wouldn't know what to do with yourself putting that much gear in it. Talk about some AB passes. 276 versus 456 gear. Whoa. Of course, the hot ticket will be going to a 46 RH transmission and keeping the 456s in it all the time. Do that. Old McDonald said tall tires on mine runs the same problem. Yeah. Mohawks is narrowed 8 3/4 with coilovers. Okay, yeah. So you take it loose, but you can still drop. Yeah, that's workable to drop down. Yeah. Yeah, but you can do that so you can get the wheels off, slide the axles out. We can do it. Barry Cuda said there's a drag car in New Zealand that's a replica of the Pandemonium 65 Coronet altered wheelbase. Ooh, that sounds cool. Sounds like a lot of fun. Jason says 2 bolts, 4 beers, unlimited laughs when it launches. I'd love to see what Mohawks could do with some gear in it. I think that would be wild because that car is strong. It posts some really good times, you know, considering that it has airplane gears in it. It is pretty amazing. Car's making a lot of torque. Old McDonald said the acceleration of those 456s will make you go blind when the G-forces push your beard over your face and head. That's a chance I'm sure you'd like to take. Wrong English says, OMG, I finally made it this evening. Long summer days and too much work. My work puts me through. Understandable. We're glad you're here. Glad you're getting to kick back finally. Mohawk's got a 30 by 11 on there, 29.8 by 11. Yep. Good size tire. Peckerwood Custom says 456 gear, my first gear, last 2 car lengths. Yeah. Wrong English says 4 a.m. again tomorrow. Whew, brutal. Twisted Mopar says, always remember the bigger gear means the end of the track is closer. RPM factor versus valve spring. Yes, it does. It is an 1/8 mile track, and he's running a tall tire. Might be a bit much gear, but I still think it will be awfully fun to see what it would do versus the 276s that are in it. Mohawk said we'll be looking at the sky for most of the track. I don't know how well you can hook it up, but you got ladder bars. You got the right tires. I think that thing would do something with that. It'd be pretty wild to watch. Matic Mechanic says, I'm running 456s with leaf springs and cow tracks with adjustable shocks. 10-inch wide slick. Fun. Yes. Indirect Jason says, Mohawk 62 needs to make that image for a sticker and t-shirt. Beard over his face, flames come out exhaust, front wheels lifted. Yes. Agree. What's he run now? I think the car runs like 820s with a 276 gear. He's making some power. But we got a good crowd in here tonight. But that said, I'm going to go ahead and shut down. Thank all you guys for being here tonight. Do not forget to watch Tech Talk Lives on Wednesdays on the Slant Daily Garage channel with Dallas and Professor P. It's a good place to ask your Triple Crown rules. We're going to be having Deke on here soon. And this upcoming Friday, July 3rd, we're going to have something fun. We're going to have some guests. You're not going to want to miss that. You're going to want to see what we do for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be interactive and participation involved. It'll be fun, though. So stick around. You're going to want to see that. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Thank you guys for taking guesses at my least favorite song ever. If it comes up, it comes up. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But thank you all for guessing. Looks like you're having a lot of fun doing it. So whatever, it's all good. And tomorrow morning, I got my video coming out on the Torqueflite I've got apart. If you want to follow along with that build, you'll see the first video on that in the morning. And with that, you guys have a great evening, a good weekend, and I'm going to be seeing you guys in less than 3 months. Good night, all.